Whether it is fornication, it's adultery, it's lying, it's stealing, it's murder, whatever the nature of sin, in love we should correct people and continuously admonish them.
And even talking about abuse, even some pastors abuse their wives.
I think it is high time we begin to teach them that it isn't just about this woman is beautiful, this man is fine, so that you can point to people, this is my husband.
Exactly.
It takes a lot to be in marriage.
Oral sex has a lot of implications, and one of it is the fact that it is one of the easiest way for the transmission of sexually transmitted diseases.
Trying to get something from somewhere you don't like, you will chop their money, and that money you eat fufu with it can block your womb. There is a woman who is praying, but most of these young girls don't know that they are lying.
You see, so most married men go out there and lie to innocent girls.
That who told you are innocent? These hypocritic girls.
Some of the girls are innocent. Because I know some girls who will tell you that if you are married, forget.
All hope was gone, hard to hang on.
This is the moment to join hundreds of families praying to make their relationships, marriages, and homes better through divine grace. Join Weekend Review with Dollarich on GTV Live in redeeming the family glory.
Under an atmosphere of worship and prayer, GTV Live, your religion and culture channel, invites you to come intercede, rebuild, and to restore the family glory.
The venue is
Life International Church, Calvary Chapel, opposite Matayeko MS Police Station, Tama, Akenya Road, with Reverend Solomon Latte.
the date,
Sunday, 11 September 2016.
the time,
8 a.m. sharp.
the theme,
Breaking the limitations.
Precious One. Evangelist Johnny Cole Dollarich of Weekend Review Show on GTV Live believes you can redeem the family glory through relentless prayer.
Now in Jesus' name, my family will not break. My family will not break. Marriage will not break. My family will stand. My children will go well.
That takes a soldier's heart.
Wow, what a privilege we have to be in your homes once again, and it is the Weekend Review Show with me, Johnny Cole Dollarich. Now, we do believe in the next generation. That is why we say we are bringing the families together, reshaping society for tomorrow's generations, right here on GTV Live. And the program over the months, over the years has been a success because you are our #1 viewer, and thank you so much for your WhatsApps and your messages, all the kind of comments you bring in via our WhatsApp line, up screen, and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. We appreciate you so much, and we say God richly bless you. Tomorrow, Sunday, we are bringing you Redeeming the Family Glory at Calvary Chapel, Life International Church. Being hosted by Reverend Solomon Latte. We are going to pray for families. Whatever the issues be in your homes, please just come with the family. This is non-denominational. We are bringing the family together just to pray. You can excuse your church just for this Sunday. Come with the family and let us pray together. The advert is up screen, and you can even give us a call on any of the numbers up screen, and we will be glad to talk to you concerning this program. Don't miss it. It is hour to pray for the family, redeeming the family glory. Yes, we do believe in the next generation. We'll be right back with our topic of the week.
All hope was gone, hard to hang on.
This is the moment to join hundreds of families praying to make their relationships, marriages, and homes better through divine grace. Join Weekend Review with Dollarich on GTV Live in redeeming the family glory.
Under an atmosphere of worship and prayer, GTV Live, your religion and culture channel, invites you to come intercede, rebuild, and to restore the family glory.
The venue is
Life International Church, Calvary Chapel, opposite Matayeko MS Police Station, Tama, Akenya Road, with Reverend Solomon Latte.
the date,
Sunday, 11 September 2016.
the time,
8 a.m. sharp.
the theme,
Breaking the limitations.
Precious One. Evangelist Johnny Cole Dollarich of Weekend Review Show on GTV Live believes You can redeem the family glory through relentless prayer.
Now in Jesus' name, my family will not break. My family will not break. Marriage will not break. My family will stand. My children will go well.
That takes a soldier's heart.
You are welcome back, and the program still continues, and it is the Weekend Review Show with me, Johnny Cole Dollarich, right here on GTV Live. Now, we are about to do our topic of the week, and by the grace of God, I'm so blessed to have these strong men of God backing us in prayer and in support in every way they could. And today, I'm so blessed that they are right here on the set with me, and we are coming to do our topic of the week. And let me go quickly to my immediate left and welcome Reverend Gostin Asigbeche, the head pastor of Fountain Gate Chapel, that is Assemblies of God Church. Also, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And how are you, sir?
Fine.
I see. It's good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
How is church? How is everybody?
By the grace of God, things are working out well.
You're welcome once again.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. And on my far left is this handsome man of God, is Reverend Emmanuel Mensah, and he is also from Hour of Grace Temple, Assemblies of God Church. And also, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How are you and family?
By God's grace.
I see. Well. It's good to see you.
You're welcome.
Wow. Well, we are coming to do our topic of the week, but we have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected with us and let's do this show together. But let me take this opportunity to apologize for the poor sound quality. Somewhere last week, I had almost about 94 calls and messages confirming that we had poor sound, and we want to say a big sorry and thank you for your understanding. This week it will get better. That's why you have to call somebody also to call somebody to watch this program, and we are treating the topic, the wedding saga, the white wedding saga. I don't know how you want to call it, but sometimes how to put yourself together, the understanding how to put materials together, resources together to marry, and the issues that comes with it. This one wanted this way, that person also wanted that way. Sometimes after marriage, 2 weeks, 1 month, just in a year, and you can see the struggle and people want to fall apart. But may God's grace help us to be able to stay together. And let me go to my men of God, and we'll share something quickly with you. Reverend Asibeji, yes. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
And the wedding issue, we are all there, we know what is happening and all that. But let's look at it from a start. If a young man or a young woman want to marry, let's take it from the basic.
Yeah.
What should the person look out for in order not to stress himself or herself out?
Thank you. First of all, there must be the consent of the two. But maybe let me go back a little. Let's see what marriage itself is.
Exactly.
Marriage is the legally recognized union or relationship between a man and a woman, which make them to become husband and wife. And these the two should have the capacity of being the age of, not less than 18 years of sound mind.
That's right.
And so we believe that the two have the right to make their own choice. And so when the two agree to get married, first of all, there must be the consent of the parents. And then if they are Christians, it must also be made known to the pastor or the minister, so that the necessary counseling procedures will be instituted.
That's right.
In Ghana, we recognize customary marriage. And that is what we normally call the engagement.
That's right.
Normally, this customary marriage, the requirement cut across the whole nation. And so when a young man or a young lady want to marry, they need to know the requirement that the custom in which they are demands. And so it must be met. The family of the man will visit the family of the woman to be, where they will introduce themselves and then bring their consent about their intent of the marriage.
Exactly.
And then the customary marriage will be instituted as to the requirement of the family concerned. The dowry or the bride price will be paid. That is acceptable as a marriage according to the customary law. And then the two couple can be together. But if they are Christians, that customary marriage need to be registered at the register office, so that it can be legalized, and then the church can have that marriage blessed. And going through this process, I believe during the counseling session, couples would be advised as to what to do according to their strength. That is what is normally done. That is what I normally do. I counsel them and then make them aware that there is more ahead of them. And so they should be moderate in their spending. Maybe during the engagement and then the wedding itself.
That's right.
But these days, you see that things are turning the other way around. A lot of cost is being involved in even the customary marriage. Before the engagement, there are parties that are being held by the bachelor or the
bachelor's night,
the bachelor's night, and then the spinter's night, and a whole lot of cost is involved. That does not come to the wedding itself at all. And I believe this is not the essence of the marriage itself. The need for our young men and young ladies today to be modest in their quest to get married is very, very important, because things are hard these days. And so if you spend your hard-earned money in going into this lavish weddings,
luxurious one,
it poses a lot of problems in the future, as you have introduced the topic with. And we believe as pastors that the modest way must be taken, so that you can conserve or save money for your future, your children's school and other emergencies that will come. Yeah.
The program still continues, and it is the weekend review show. We are discussing the white wedding saga. I mean, you have your own controversies out there. Somebody will say, well, it can be relative as to which one you call modest, but please, whatever that we do, let's ensure that we do not put pressure on ourselves. And that is the reason for this program. Call somebody also to call somebody to tune in to watch this program, even as you bring in your WhatsApps via WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected to to us. I'm going to Reverend Emmanuel, and then also for Daddy has given us a whole background to it, and then like you rightly said, I mean, now in our time now, I mean, everybody wants to show some level of class. He wants to do it I've heard a couple of times in some churches, I mean, this person has a wedding, and then you are coming to do yours next. You want to do it better. You want to look more flashy than the one who did his or hers last month or last 2 months. I don't know what you can say to this in modesty sense.
Thank you very much. I think Papa have said a lot. To add to it, you see, it depends on the people, the two couples who are going to marry. And like you said, it's our season, it's our time.
That's right.
But looking at your time, you must. There's a saying that we should cut
our coat
according to our cloth.
That's right.
If your material is not up to the other person and you want to sew your coat like that person, you create problem for yourself. So coming by this white marriage or whatever we are, I don't know, even I don't know whether we have white and we have because the thing is that we are talking about Christian marriage.
That's right.
We all, before we became Christians, we all have families.
That's right.
So you move from the family and then you have the Christian family. So in between it, now we have the civil marriage, like Papa said, the customary marriage and the spiritual, that is the church. So now that you have moved into the church family, now is the church who's supposed to guide you.
That's right.
So now, if we want to talk about that aspect, then the marriage must be based on the Bible, biblical marriage.
That's right.
And if you read Genesis 24, when Abraham sent his servant Eliezer to go and look for a wife for Isaac, you realize that the man prayed that God should lead him.
That's right.
You see, the problem we are having, that is our time, is our season, is because even before the consentment and all those things will come, prayer to lead you into the type of marriage you want.
Sure, that's right.
And you have examples around you. There are fathers around you. Your family, there are marriages. If there is even not any good marriage in your family, at least you have seen in the church. And we have purpose around. So the problem I'm seeing is that most often, I was just counseling some marriage couples who wanted to bless their marriage, and the lady started telling me that I was asking them, how do you want the marriage to be?
Yeah.
And she started mentioning the thing. I said, no, what you are saying is too much. The other side is also, they are already together and we want to bless them. So why do you want red carpet, this, that? I don't get it. So one thing I've come to realize is that is the mentality that people have. If you are going to marry and then you know why you are marrying, you wouldn't go for somebody else star because you know why you want to marry.
Exactly.
You have the focus, you have the vision, and you have the understanding about the biblical marriage, and you want to enter into it. I don't think you have to compare yours to the other person. Immediately you begin to compare. That is where those problems comes. Last week, the wedding that came off here was like this. So I want mine to
raise the standard.
Yes. And I don't think that should be the standard. The standard for your marriage must be the Bible. Must be the Bible. Because when Eliezer got there and then he found the woman, we realized quickly for the first time he just thanked God that God has directed him to the right, his master's family.
That's right.
That was the marriage they wanted. He didn't want the son Isaac to marry outside the family. And the Lord directed them right to the family. So you realize that from there, the proposals and everything, the dowries and everything went on the way they wanted it. So coming back to that, it means that if you want to marry, then the two parties must first of all know the type of marriage they want.
Really want. Let's look at this. The area of agreement, I mean understanding, like the couples coming into terms with exactly what they want to do. Right. You know, we have a lady who's coming from a different background. She has her own ideas, I mean the kind of things she wants. And a gentleman who is also coming from a different perspective, you also, that's the way he wants. Even though we are talking about two different people agreeing on a common goal. But you know, the background also comes. The parents of the young man or the parents of the lady sometimes also have their own way of, we want it this way. But let's tackle the young couple. Because they, at the end of the day, are going to stay together. How best should they handle it from the very beginning, assuming away from the external influences and all that?
Thank you. I think the best thing the two would-be couples should do is sit down and let there be an agreement that this is the way we want our wedding to go, or our marriage to go or to be. Because in Ghana we have 3 types of wedding, marriages. The customary marriage that I have mentioned, and then we have that of the ordinance under the cap 127, and then we have the Islamic marriage under cap 129. Under the ordinance, there are various means by which you can do your wedding or your marriage. And so there must be an agreement between the two would-be couple. This is the way we want our marriage or our wedding to be. Initially, there may be some disagreement as regard the backgrounds that the two are coming from. But with prayer and then a lot of consultation, I believe there must be a consensus. I believe in prayer. A lot need to be put in, as Sopo has already said. And when they both agreed on the way they want to have the marriage, then they can approach their parents that this is the way we want it. But if you want anything extra, then can you support us? That should be the position of the two parties. And if the parents are willing to support them, then fair enough. Then they can support them to do the marriage the way they want it. And that will be to the advantage of both families. And in this case, nobody will lose after the wedding.
That's right.
Because there have been support. I mean, there is nothing wrong with you doing your lavish wedding. If you have the money,
that's right,
and you want to do it, you do it.
But even the money will not be there forever. So you have to
and there are, as I said, family members are willing to support. If they are willing to support, let them support, so that you, the couple, will not spend too much, and then save what you have for the future.
That's right.
As you want it. But the bottom line is the agreement between the would-be couple as to what exactly they want. I think with what Osopo has already said, this comes during the counseling session, where they also seek advice from the counselor, the pastor, and the other people that are around. And when this is done, I think the two will have their peace as to what to do. But where there is still misunderstanding, then I want to say that they are not ready yet.
Wow.
They are not ready yet. But we must also know that big or lavish weddings do not lead necessarily to successful marriage.
That's right. That's right.
This
So
is
it's not all about how the wedding goes.
Yes. But the love, the understanding, the respect, and the commitment to each other. That is most important. And so the understanding must be there. That let's do what we can do. So to save our resources for the future that we have ahead of us. I think every meaningful person must be able to agree to this.
That's right.
Are you getting me?
I will do.
And there are a lot of means by which the wedding can be done that will cut down costs. After the customary marriage, you go to the court and let it be registered. And that is under the ordinance. And when it is registered, you come to your church. It can be, the marriage can be blessed on Sunday during the service, where all people come, we bless the marriage. You take your woman, you go to your house. You don't involve any extra expenses on reception and other things. Or simply in the pastor's office, two families come together at a witness, and then it is blessed for them after the necessary legal requirement have been fulfilled at the register of marriages. If that is done, it can be done in even the pastor's office with the view that the church is legally registered.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Legally registered for marriage. And that can be done. I've been doing that for some of my members. They come to the office, the two families come together. We do it, and then the friends who want to come, they sit in the auditorium. After everything, we go and introduce to them.
Small refreshments.
Small refreshment. They are gone. Sunday they come. We introduce them. Mr. and Mrs. So and so have gotten married, and they are happy. But where you want to, make show or do it as the way the other person has done it. But Christians, the Bible tells that we should not compare ourselves to one another. If you do that, then Paul says we are not wise.
Exactly.
Because you don't know the means by which the other person got his money to do the wedding. And you may also be forced to go and do it. That is where we begin to see a lot of people having problems after their marriages. A story which I heard, a couple who were even in the marriage, in the office, in the church,
right on
the then police people came and they arrested the young man because he was found to be among armed robbers.
He has a booty to show off.
Yeah. Why? Maybe he wanted to make a big wedding, so he must go in for something that does not belong to him. And now see the disgrace.
That's right.
So we want to advise that our up and coming would be couples. Learn to be, let me use the word again, modest. In your approach to your weddings and then the marriages, because the marriage is what is most important. The marriage, it is not the lavish receptions and big attires and all those things. That is the marriage. But where two of you have agreed, you have the consent of your parents, and you respect each other, and you have a future in mind to make. That is what is most important. For the lavish wedding or the reception, people will come, they will enjoy, eat, they will enjoy and go.
Lately, they don't even bring any person.
They don't give you anything. They will not. And then when you go back, then you begin to sing, hack my soul. So we want to be a little bit considerate in our planning towards our marriages, because the marriage is a lifetime affair.
That's right.
You have a long way ahead of you.
That's right.
And so the wedding or the marriage is just the beginning of the life that you want to live. And so take your time, be a little bit reasonable in your planning, so that what is necessary is the blessing.
The blessing.
If you are a Christian, the blessing that you receive in the church.
As it.
From your pastors, that is what is the most important thing. Having fulfilled the customary rights, the blessing
is all you need.
Yes. All other things, I mean, they come. These are the last of the eye that we want to show. At the end, there will be trouble. Many people, some get married, and then later on, they are in debt. They are being chased around.
I'll come back to that. And the program still continues, and it is the Weekend Review Show right here on GTV Live. We have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected with us and let's do the show together. This brings me to this point. Reverend Emmanuel, you know, something happened some years back among this couple. You know, apparently the story is just so simple. The girl, because a guy, let's say, jilted her or something, you know, broke up with her. You know, she found this new guy. And the guy, so to say, is a bit okay. So she wanted something to just give, I mean, I don't know, send an information to the ex-boyfriend that, yes, now I've arrived. And she was pushing this guy, the new guy, pushing him to every limit to spend every dime he has. And, you know, somebody who has found a loved one, I mean, you love this lady so much, you can't say no. I mean, she's crying, she wants this, she wants this standard, she wants this ring, she wants this. And apparently, everything just happened. And by the end of the day, less than 2 months into the wedding, trouble began. I mean, the guy even have to go and borrow from the bank and take loan. I mean, take from here. And it was so, they had a classy, if you say something is classy, you know it was flash. Everything, it was even in the newspapers. I mean, you could see magazines and they had everything out there. But yet, the marriage began to suffer rocks.
Yes, like you rightly said, even the beginning of the marriage itself was faulty. You know, the success and the woe of marriage will be determined by how it begins. Maybe that lady, the mind was, you want to show to people that, like this song that says Yewokrum.
Yes,
she's in town.
Exactly.
And then, I don't know, he met somebody who also want to show that Onosu Okrum. That was, you see that picture.
Yes, that's right.
So you realize that even what went on for the man going that extra mile to do that extravagant marriage shows that the marriage will not hold. Will not hold. My papa was talking, he said something, if you are going to marry in the family, let's say the
both parties.
The parents can support. That one, there is no problem because there are these celebrations. Let's say 3 celebrations: when you were born, your birthdays,
that's right,
and your marriage time, and the day you go home.
Go home.
That one you will not be present. But people
they will do it on your behalf.
So if you start a marriage on a faulty foundation, then it will not hold. It will not hold. And I believe that is wrong. That people should not even dream of doing that. Especially the young ones who are coming. They shouldn't even dream of that. Because marriage is lifetime. It's lifetime. And anything that is lifetime, you have to plan it very well.
That's right.
It must build on a solid foundation.
That's right.
And the foundation of marriage, according to Genesis chapter 2, is built. It's there right now in the Bible that God himself laid the foundation.
That's right.
And then when you understand, why am I marrying? What do I want to see? How do I want my marriage to be? If you begin to focus your mind on all these things and then you put them together, and then too, you know that you are, at times you see, I even wonder, such people, was the wedding done in church? Or was it, at times maybe, if it was in church, then where was, at times when you even advise them, they will
not even listen. Yes.
There are several marriages that goes on like that. If their pastors tells them that no, what you are doing will bring problem. What they do is they leave the church
and go
they will go and do the marriage somewhere. At times those marriages are not even contracted in churches, in even places where they'll go and hire some hotels and then
some garden
communities,
those areas. That's right.
And when it goes that way, and there are some, excuse me to say, some men of God who are also there, they will not even find out what went on.
They are ready to bless the marriage.
They are ready to do everything. Simply because maybe they will offer him some fat envelope. You see, so it's rather sad that people will begin to contract marriage from that foundation. I don't think I will advise that nobody should even dream. Because if you want to marry, like Papa just said, marriage itself, it should be modest, simple. I've celebrated some marriages in my church whereby even I didn't ask them to use veil and all those things. Make it simple.
That's right.
Make it simple. Our traditional dressing. Just dress very well. Make it very simple.
All you see, that is important is the blessing that will come at the end of the day.
The blessing. So now even people sewing those veils and then long one, sweeping the ground, they become like somebody who says Zoom lions. And they
10,000 Ghana cedis wedding gown.
To me, I don't think, if that is what they are saying is a white marriage, or then I think
we are losing the concept.
We are losing the concept. Yeah. We have to, our tradition, already we have our tradition, the way we dress, and then let's bring them. Because when you look at the traditional setup, like Eliab, when he went, you see that it was a traditional wedding. They did it. There were no friends around. It was the family. And after he just took Rebecca to Isaac. And look at their marriage. It lasted, and their generation and all the children out of their marriage was blessed. Was a blessing.
That's right. That's right.
So what we need to do, or the up and coming young ones who are supposed to who are preparing or planning to marry, must look at the blessings of it. The blessings of it, that the Lord will be, the hand of God will be upon the marriage.
Right.
That is what matters. You can even, this traditional wedding, if we arrange things well, I think like Papa just said, after that, you bless
it, and you are done.
You are done.
But it's rather unfortunate that at times people who don't even have what it takes the people who are
even
pushing for those marriages.
That brings me to this. I think somewhere in 2004, thereabouts, there was this couple who came to marry in one of the church office, and it's just a handful of the family members, the mother, the parent, and just about 2 or 3 people from each side. They were all in about 21 in number.
Yeah.
And it was such a beautiful, it was, I think, on Thursday. They did the wedding on Thursday, normal weekday, whatever. And the blizzard was so nice. And the friends, I mean, just the 21 or something people, they had a refreshment. Everybody had, even those of us working in the church office. I mean, it was so nice. And we went home. I mean, if you see the family now, they are so blessed. They are so beautiful. You can see everything going. That brings me to this point, Reverend Asibiche. The young ones coming, you know, sometimes they also have their own ideas, their own, I mean, way they want things to go. And parents also have a role to play in times like this. And the church, the pastor also have a role to play. Yes. Now, if a young man or a young lady has her own or his own way of wanting to do the wedding this way, and parents also want to, how best can the pastoral, I mean, the church, help to say, okay, go this way because we have seen it before. This area will help you best, and so that you don't incur any frictions or troubles for your marriage. Do the church come in strongly?
Yes. Thank you very much. The church is involved in giving the needed advice or counsel to the would-be couple. That they should, first of all, the understanding between the two couples is very, very, very important, so that this conflict will not arise. And this will come when during the counseling, the minister is able to, I mean, inquire from them the way they want the wedding to go. And then when they come out with their idea, this is where the minister has to come in, or the pastor comes in to advise them and direct them so that they can do the right thing.
That's right.
In my counseling, what I've realized is that during the counseling, the minds of the couple are on the wedding, the wedding reception, the attire, and the people they will invite, rather than what the real counseling you are giving them from the Word of God that will guide them. I've experienced this several times, and I've been bringing it out to the people that I counsel. But the church again can help. In our church, I mean our organization, when couples are going to marry, we have what we call bridal shower. Okay. Where all the ladies, the young ladies in the church, they contribute, they buy items to support their sister who is going to marry.
That's right.
And then a day is set. And these items are presented in the church. A short ceremony, advices are given by the women ministry leaders as to how they have to begin their marriage. And these items are presented to the lady. I mean, most of these items are some of the things that the lady will need
at least for a start.
And so these are some of the ways that the church also comes in to help. Times the women ministry, they support the would-be couple. But before this support comes, your activities in the church must be known. You must be active in the church. This gives people the desire.
Exactly.
And apart from that, the church is the way have churches that are coming with big auditorium where wedding receptions can be held instead of going to rent all those other hotels, expensive. And so the church is also in the process of helping the would-be couples so that they will cut down cost so that they can begin life on a very sound note. And I believe if good counseling is given, our young ones too must take it because they have not gone that way. Your counselors have gone that way. Even though you see your friends doing it, the peer pressure, your mates have done it, so you also, but be very careful as to what you do to suit your status,
your strength, and
your strength. Look at your strength and then be able to do. And then also, we want to appeal to our young ones that they should listen to counseling, advice. It will help them. It is for their own good. And the parents too, we are appealing to them. Help your children. Help them in a way that they will not spend too much. In fact, there are some families that make demands on the man. Bring this, bring that.
We want this.
Yeah. Buy me a tabletop, fridge, or a laptop, and all those things.
Now I hear sometimes if you're going for this, what is it, the list for engagement and all that, laptop, iPad, and all those things.
I mean, you are not being fair to your children. You are not being fair. If parents are making such demand, then what you are telling the young man is that we are selling our daughter to you. So when you take her, you can do anything with her. But that should not be the case. Parents too must be mindful of their demands.
That's right. That's right.
They must help their children get into marriage on a good and a sound footing so that they can also make their marriage a success. I believe that is what the church and even the parents can do
to help.
Yes.
Yes, please do.
You see, if you are also devoted and committed in church, because we have seen it happening, you see that even your attire, somebody devotes, somebody
who can just buy it for you. That's right.
I'll do the reception, we buy drinks, and it has happened. So if you should know the family that you, apart from your the real family, the family of God, you must be serious and serve the Lord well. And when you are doing that, I tell you, when it comes to the time that you want to marry, you see that God will take care of everything. And the parents too must also, somebody is coming to marry your daughter, you must take the person as your son. Begin to see the person. So long as he's coming to marry your daughter, he's now your son. My son married last year, and when the lady, she's my daughter. You see, and she comes to me, and even when she comes to the house, she's at ease, and the family is. So we should understand these things and know that we are not selling our daughters. So that we can help our children to marry.
Let's look at this. I mean, there are young ones out there, because looking at this nature of wedding, I mean, sometimes
they become discouraged.
Exactly. I mean, some of them are so discouraged. The fear is there. How can I also do it? Some of them are thinking of, I should be able to have almost about 10,000 Ghana cedis or 20,000 Ghana cedis to be able to do this. I mean, quantifying the kind of bulk money they are looking out for before they can marry. Some of them are in a relationship for 6 years, 8 years, and they are there. They can't marry simply because they are scared. I mean, we are seeing what is happening around us. Is there a way, somebody can just marry in a very simple way? You are talking about after the engagement? right? Yes, because I've seen some people, the pastor can even come and bless the marriage right after the engagement. And you know, right in the home or something. I mean, or you just move to the church premises right after the engagement. You move to the church premises, and then they do something small there for you. Is there a way you can package something for the young ones out there that, okay, fine, all you need to do is to go through the engagement and then come, let's do something this way for everybody to be okay? As of all.
Yes, there is a way. And just as you rightly said, that is why the pastors, we are there. And there was one that took place in my place. Even the lady was in Pentecost. So it was the pastor's residence. We went to the pastor's residence, not even the church. It was the residence, and we did everything there. The two families just met. And then we just, a word of exhortation. And then it was so simple. We blessed them. No veil, no...
And it's his wedding.
It is wedding. We signed papers, everything. You see? So there is a way. We shouldn't look at things the way, maybe, there is a way.
There is a way.
There is a way.
I don't know about you, but this is the Weekend Review Show, and according to the men of God, there is a way. I don't know why you should be sitting down thinking all is lost. It is not lost, because here we do believe in bringing the family together, reshaping society for tomorrow's generations. Let your views and your comments come in. Week after week, we get WhatsApp, almost about 90 and over 100 WhatsApps. I mean, as for the calls, sometimes we can't even answer all of them. I mean, this is the show you have to watch. Just get connected and let's do this show together. Let me find out also.
Yes, please.
You see, the young men out there, some of them, I don't know, but what is happening, like something puts fear in them. And they go on keeping people's daughters in the name of... I heard of a story of somebody who went to do knocking for almost about 8 years. Had gone to knock and still not entering the house. I mean, if there's a way some of these people can just come and seek direct counseling and say, okay, fine, do it this way, package it this way, and you can just make it. Can they come to you for such an advice and all that?
Yes. It is normally done. What I do, or most of my fellow pastors we do, is that we have a marriage counseling session. Or seminars that we hold. We talk about some of these things and then encourage the young ones that a simple wedding can be done. And so at times, if what the parents are demanding maybe too much, the pastors, we go in, sit with the parents, and then we reason together. And then when that is done, some of the parents, they become happy that the young man is willing to marry and he's finding means of making the marriage simple. And then they agree, and then, I mean, those excessive demands are cut down. And so they are married. And when that is done, the marriage will be registered at the Registers of Marriages office, either the Metropolitan or the municipal or district assembly. When that is done, you come to the church. Announcements are made for 3 consecutive Sundays. If the 2 are in the church, or if one of them is outside the church, the announcements are made concurrently for 3 Sundays. And then either they come to our office, just as a pastor has said, or any day of the week, we officiate that marriage.
That's right.
With simple attire that you can afford. When that is done, I think this is the only way we can help our young ones. Because as a matter of fact, it is putting fear in the other young ones. And they are being discouraged. A young man can, Pastor, can I also marry the way this brother. I say, yes, you can do it, but not this way, but the way you want it to be done. It can be done.
It can be done.
Yes, please. And these days, you see people going to have their wedding in gardens by the seashore.
Yeah.
I mean, that...
In the boats and all that.
Normally, before that can be done, then it means a special license from the Registrar General Office is applied for.
Okay.
And when it is granted upon the Registrar General Office people have satisfied themselves that you fulfill all legal requirements. Yes, personnel from the Registrar General Department comes to administer that oath of wedding there. Other in the garden, it means you have obtained a special license to do that. And that place, it is the Registrar General's staff that does the officiating.
Oh, okay.
He administers the vows. It is you, the minister, you can only pray over that marriage.
Oh, I see.
You don't exchange any vows. You, the minister, do not exchange vows there.
Oh, okay.
It is the Registrar General Department official that administer that kind of wedding. You, the pastor, will only pray over the couple.
So, meaning then that it's not within your domain of officiating.
Yes,
so
because
you don't...
before marriages can be officiated, the place must be registered.
Oh, okay.
Gazetted. And you, the minister, too, must be gazetted, be known to the state. But if you are not, and your place is not, then there's a problem. But special license is available that you can go, you can apply for.
Okay.
So that if you want it in the garden, or in the on the rooftop, provided
the sky is your limit.
So this is how it is.
I see.
And you can also go to the court, have your marriage registered there and officiated there, or even in the Registrar General's office. It can be done for you. That is under the marriage, the ordinance marriage. It can be done, simple, and then you come home.
Wow.
Then Sunday, the pastor prayed over you
and then
bless you. There's no more exchange of vows again. And then you are gone. So there are simple ways of having the wedding, so that we do not also endanger our up and coming young ones who may not have the strength as you think you have.
Yes. It is well. Also, in a quick minute, a word of advice to the young ones out there who want to come out. I mean, they want to marry, but there's so much fear in them. A word of advice.
I want to encourage them that they shouldn't fear. They should be courageous and be strong. And if they spot somebody they want to marry, they should just tell their papas in the house, the pastors. And we will show them the way. So they shouldn't be afraid.
They shouldn't be afraid. Daddy, to the parents.
I want to take this opportunity to appeal to we the parents over there that we must be in the position to help our children who want to marry. We should not make excessive demand on them. That demand is what is keeping some of them from marrying. And so we should help our young ones so that they can also get married. And then continue the generation for us. Because if we do not do that, some pass the other way around. By the time you realize your daughter is pregnant, it's rather bring shame and disgrace to you. And so let's, as parents, help our children, if they want to marry, let's help them, so let's guide them so that everything will be done in a way that it can suit them, so that they can start a good life and make a good future.
On that note, I want to say a big thank you to you, Reverend Emmanuel Mensah, for passing through the program. God bless you so much. And Reverend Gostin Asigbechi, I'm so blessed having you also.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And thank you so much, viewers, for being part of this show. And let me say a big thank you also to Reverend Samoya Kohini of Parish Chapel, Bubuashi. I mean, you're such a wonderful father. I know you don't miss this program, and I want to take this opportunity to salute you and the family and the church. And I'll see you soon. And then also to Bamfo security personnel. I mean, you're a soldier at 37 Military Hospital. Such a wonderful woman. Thank you so much for all that you are doing for Mother Ghana. And also to my own sweet, thank you so much for that wonderful gifts. You've always been there. Thank you so much for the support. And to my makeup ladies in the makeup room, and to my director, and then the camera crew, and to my sound engineers. I mean, you're all awesome. God bless you so much. We'll see you same time next week. And please remember, our WhatsApp line is up screen on our Facebook page. Weekend Review with Dollarich. And just let's get connected on this show. You know what? I love you so much. You can't do anything about it. I'll see you same time next week. But remember, God is still on his throne, and everything that you need in this life, God will do it. I can assure you that. Bye.
Many a cocoa,